Can you do a tap on the microphone? One more. Maybe. Can you hear if you can hear? What is that? No. Should be coming out of microphone. I hear you talking. Can you usually open it?
May be able to move further. Maybe further.
It should be getting the feed from the microphone.
Test the microphone. Go, right?
Okay, yeah. Listen for him. Hear that? In the phone? Became.
Testing.
Can you hear that?
Testing.
You got it? Okay.
Good.
Thursday, April 17th, regular board meeting for the Council of the District Board of Directors. I would like to call the meeting to open. And I have April. Armano. Here. Bearden. Kyle. Hilton. Yancy. Johnson. Here. Fine.
Here.
Lawrence. Here. Betts. Present. 7 present, 2 absent. Thank you. Have a good silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Good evening, community members. Today, it is an honor and a privilege to recognize educators from across our school district. This award is entirely peer-driven. Teachers recognizing among themselves those who stand out in building student relationships, excel in their craft, and rise as leaders among the staff from each building. Also, the awardees who will be recognized today are all eligible to compete in the Teacher of the Year competition for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I will ask you, Madam President, to help me recognize each award winner. The introductions will be read by past recipients and a previous Teacher of the Year award. And we will begin with our own current Vice President of the Federation, Mrs. Jane Hospital.
Good evening, Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the board, administration, teachers, and guests. We are here tonight to recognize the amazing teachers from each building as Teachers of the Year for 2025. The teachers you will hear about tonight were selected by their peers for the work they do with students, their lessons and activities, and for the supportive and kind nature they display in working with staff and students. Like Mr. Rodriguez said, the teachers tonight are also eligible to fill out and enter for the PA Teacher of the Year. It would absolutely be amazing to see all of these teachers move on to the state level and represent Pottstown. So let's get started. Here tonight to announce the Pottstown High School Teacher of the Year is Jessica Lemon.
We want to introduce Desiree Boyer for Teacher of the Year for Pottstown High School. I have the honor of being a building rep with Des and have gotten to know her for the past couple of years. And I gotta say, she is one of the most dynamic teachers I have ever met. So Des has been Pottstown School District since 2004. She has taught almost every grade, kindergarten, fourth grade, sixth grade, enrichment classes at the middle school, and has been in Pottstown High School in the role of the ESL teacher since 2017. She grew up in Pottstown and she has not wandered around far. She lives right across the river in Norco. Des exemplifies dedication as a teacher both inside and outside the classroom. She has cultivated an enriching and welcoming classroom culture where students feel safe and accepted. Her room is vibrantly decorated, showcasing the home country flags of all her students. Each flag has pictures of students from that home country, allowing new students to identify and connect with other students from their home countries. As a passionate advocate for ELL students, she consistently supports and communicates with their families, often beyond the hours of the school day. For many families, she has become the primary contact for all inquiries, often fielding questions that extend beyond her expertise. Nevertheless, Des ensures that students and families are always connected with the appropriate support resources. As the only member of her own department, she often shoulders responsibilities that demand intense planning behind the scenes. Desiree communicates effectively with her colleagues and expertly manages the duties of an ever-evolving program. With an influx of students entering the district and joining the ELL program, she works tirelessly to ensure that each student receives the support they need to learn and grow during his or her time at Pottstown. Her commitment to her students is evident in her adaptive lesson planning, which reflects their diverse needs. She is constantly looking at and utilizing data to drive her instruction. Although she is a veteran teacher, she never gets complacent. Instead, she challenges herself daily and gives her students 100% effort. This includes direct instruction in her classroom and actively visiting her students' other content areas to support both the learners and their teachers. In addition to her teaching role, Desiree serves as a union building representative, is a member of the ERA team, and balances her responsibilities as a dedicated mother. She independently organized and decorated a multicultural luncheon for staff, admin, for students and their families to experience traditional cuisine in a welcoming community setting. Despite the challenges of being the sole teacher for a rapidly growing student population, she maintains an upbeat demeanor that is contagious to all who encounter her. She truly is Pottstown proud and is always guaranteed to go above and beyond during all Spirit Days. She fosters a supportive and safe community among her students and their families, leading many to maintain contact with her long after they have graduated from PHS. Des, congratulations.
To introduce Pottstown Middle School Teacher of the Year, Ginger Angelo.
Good evening. It's my honor to recognize Pottstown Middle School's Teacher of the Year, not only as my colleague, but as a former student. I'm going to read you the bio that was written that we voted for Ian. Ian Lawrence is continually creating new projects and activities in social studies that enhance the children's learning and make the learning interesting and fun. He is motivated and positively engaged, serving as a true inspiration. He brings true professional attributes to his classroom and genuinely cares about delivering excellence, quality, and work. He runs a mock election in his classes, has kids vote, nominate teachers for principal. He works hard to use things that kids are interested in, engage them in learning. He recognizes students' potential and uses guided notes to help students understand the content. He has great relationships with the kids. Ian has also dedicated himself outside the classroom in creating student schedules at the start of the year, organizing the 8th grade field trip to Valley Forge, and taking the lead in coordinating conferences for the entire 8th grade team. He also attends numerous IEPs and has involved himself in the process of getting our school back, quote unquote, on the right track. With the SEI, the School Improvement Committee, his attention to data is incredible, and he must work hours and hours each day to be one of the most thorough teachers we have ever had the good fortune to work with. Ian also single-handedly plans and tracks for the 8th grade award ceremony each year, ensuring that all students are recognized for their hard work. He is dedicated to Pottstown Middle School, the students, and the community. He is involved in the deck hockey program at Pottstown. As a Pottstown graduate, he is a great example and an amazing asset to our students, district, and community. He is just an all-around involved and helpful teacher. It's my privilege to recognize Ian Lawrence as Pottstown Middle School Teacher of the Year.
To introduce the Teacher of the Year for Rupert Elementary, Lori Gresco.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. Rupert's Teacher of the Year for the year 2024-25 is Ashley Bellevue. Ashley is a daughter, wife, mom, scout leader, soccer mom, and friend, but she's also our first grade teacher. Ashley's classroom is a positive, engaging atmosphere where students are excited about learning. She turns learning into games and is always willing to try new ideas. She constantly utilizes total participation techniques to keep all of her students learning. She advocates for all of her students, always trying to get the services and support they need to be successful. She maintains a positive attitude with her peers and is always willing to share her ideas and open her classroom. Her students are happy going into her classroom each day, and it is evident that the students love her and love learning. Ashley creates an environment where people want to be. On any given day, there are a number of students and staff who just stop by to say hello. It is with great pride that we acknowledge Ashley Bellevue this evening.
Presents the Teacher of the Year for Lincoln Elementary, Kelly Mooney.
Good evening. It is with great enthusiasm and admiration that we nominate Karen Seaman for Teacher of the Year. Karen is an outstanding educator who has dedicated herself to inspiring her students to excel. Her tireless work ethic and unwavering commitment to providing specially designed instruction make a profound difference in the lives of every child she works with, and might I say her coworkers as well. Even on the most challenging of days, Karen remains positive and uplifting. She creates an environment where all feel seen, heard, and empowered to achieve their personal best. Karen plans for multiple grade levels and small groups with very minimal planning time, always ensuring that each individual's needs are met. She gives of herself, using weekends to write IEPs and to ensure the success of all of her students. Under Karen's guidance, Lincoln's children learn, and they love to learn. They gain confidence, they grow, and they thrive. Her passion for teaching is matched only by her incredible humanity. She invests deeply in the success and well-being of the children, and her impact extends far beyond the classroom. Karen provides endless parental support and empathy, always understanding and addressing the challenges that our students and their families face at home. Karen has proudly served as an educator in the Pottstown School District for 35 years, and I've been fortunate enough to be literally by her side for all but one of those. Truly blessed for that. Her dedication and ability to foster an inclusive, supporting learning environment make her a true asset to our school and our community. She is an educator who goes above and beyond, and she leads by example. While we will undoubtedly be sorry to see Karen as she goes off into retirement, we wish her well, and we know that she has left an everlasting mark on Lincoln, our Lincoln family, the classroom, and the district. So congratulations, Karen, well deserved.
Here to announce Franklin Elementary's Teacher of the Year is Sue Hammond.
She is the 2025 Teacher of the Year for Franklin Elementary. Cindy has demonstrated exceptional dedication, creativity, and passion in her role as an educator, positively influencing the lives of countless students for over 28 years in the Pottstown School District. She attended Westchester University, where she received her Bachelor's of Science degree in elementary early childhood education. Cindy continued her education at Cabrini University, where she received her master's degree in elementary education. Cindy is the proud mother of 3 wonderful children and 5 beautiful grandchildren. Cindy and her husband enjoy spending time at the beach with their family. Cindy goes beyond just teaching in the curriculum. She creates an environment where students feel valued, supported, and inspired to reach their full potential. She has endless patience while persevering through difficult times with challenging students. Cindy provides individualized support to encourage student behavior and academic success. Cindy makes a lasting impact on everyone she teaches. Beyond the classroom, Cindy actively contributes to the broader school community. Cindy is a member of the leadership, Fall Fest, and Earth Day committees at Franklin. She is often seen at Trunk or Treat, Franklin Bingo Night, and Ice Cream Night. Whether through extracurricular activities, mentoring colleagues, serving on leadership committees, or supporting school initiatives, she goes above and beyond to make the school a better place for all. This nomination
would not be complete without the mention of the delicious homemade desserts Cindy shares with the staff throughout each and every school year. They are always very yummy. She is always thinking and giving to others. Thank you, Cindy, for everything that you have done for your many families, Franklin students and colleagues, the Pottstown School District, the community of Pottstown. Congratulations as being chosen the 2025 Franklin Teacher of the Year. It is very well deserved.
To announce the Edgewood Learning Center Teacher of the Year, this is kind of exciting because she's last year's Teacher of the Year and she was unable to be here because she was giving birth. So she gets to announce the winner, Erica Fast.
Honored to speak about Lemuel Breck, who is our Edgewood 2004, 2025, 2024, 2025 Teacher of the Year. Mr. Brown has the natural ability to meet students at their level and help them develop socially and emotionally. He naturally seeks out students who need additional support and overall provides an overarching positive impact to our community. He operates with integrity, decency, and respect when communicating with staff, students, and parents. His ability to connect students and parents, guardians is extremely vital to help facilitate communication and build rapport. Students are drawn to him because of his reliability and engaging instruction of academic material. He is always willing to jump in and work with any student in the building. He asks questions when he doesn't know and offers guidance when needed. Lemuel has shown incredible growth since becoming a teacher, and he is truly flourishing. The kids, staff, and families respect him both as a professional and as a person. Lemuel is the epitome of a teacher who cares and is there for everyone. Congratulations, Mr. Colonel.
And to announce our final voting, Barth Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Mary Ellen Lemke.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about Megan Yorgi, Barth's Teacher of the Year. Megan started her teaching career in Pottstown as a learning support teacher at Edgewood Elementary School. Eventually, she moved to Barth, continuing in her role as a learning support teacher. When a kindergarten position became available, Megan was excited to take on the new role which she still holds today. Students and staff that Megan has worked with over the years always have a kind word to say, reflecting on their time with her. She is one of the driving forces behind our Sunshine Committee. Megan has a huge heart and works hard to make sure that everyone is seen and treated with kindness. Megan is not only a wonderful teacher, but a wonderful friend. Megan goes above and beyond for her students. She strives to make sure her students are safe and feel loved and valued. She puts their basic needs first. She is dedicated to meeting the needs of all her students. Megan makes sure that she follows her curriculum with fidelity and utilizes all the possible resources in order to help her students grow. She takes her time to really understand the material, which in turn allows her to make sure her students understand what is being taught. Megan always has a smile on her face and can be found moving around the classroom during instruction. It is a pleasure to watch her work with her students and see the growth that they make because of the activities that she creates and the routines that she has put into place. Megan is well deserving of this award because of her dedication and commitment to her students and to the entire Barth family. Megan has been close for me for several years now, and she does a fabulous job. Her kids just love her. So I'm very proud to introduce Megan Yorgi.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in like Pottstown tradition. It is my honor to invite you all to have some cake with us after, actually right now. So we are gonna take a short break. Hopefully you'll be able to take some more pictures. If you go down the hall just a little bit and enter our culinary arts department, you can get yourself some cake. We have a picture of it because probably only one or two of you are gonna see it, but it's a fabulous thing. And so that will be a break for the board meeting and a break for all of our families as well. Meanwhile, board members, we're gonna have an executive session, and then we intend to, Mr. Armato, you're looking at me like I'm doing something wrong. Team picture. We need all the teachers of the year to report here directly right now so that we can take a picture, and then we will have cake. Congratulations to all of our honorees tonight.
It's unmuted. Get ready to hear from here at Facebook.
So we will move right back into our agenda, starting with minutes. Madam President, you know, ladies and gentlemen, minutes from the March 20th, 2025 board meeting. Thank you. And then moving into list of bills and treasurer's report, Mrs. Johnson. Madam President, I would just submit a list of bills paid to the various funds for the period of March 2025 as presented, and the treasurer's report for the period of March 2025. Thank you. Committee reports. Can we get started with policy and personnel, Mr. Klein, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Our committee met April 3rd. We talked about policy on hazing and decided that the discussion of the meeting. So we'll do that at the next meeting or maybe. We did forward to tonight's meeting a policy on bullying and cyberbullying, which we will hopefully approve in a few minutes. Also, we discussed about assignment or reassignment in the district, and we decided again that the consideration was needed, and we will do that in the first agenda. On personnel, if anybody read the policy meeting notes, the report, I have some bad news. We voted on graduation date, and according to the report, it's Thursday, June 29th. Seniors are going to be with us about a month longer than you're hoping. No, seriously, it's May 29th. That's a typo, so that will be changed. That's all I have.
Thank you. So moving into curriculum and co-curricular, Mrs. Lawrence. Thank you. I don't have anything that's on me to say, but and I'm sorry I was not at that meeting, so I'm thinking the spirit is a little different. So I appreciate that. We did for an action item, we do have an adoption for the AP5 attached at the cost of $1,458. We also had a slideshow presentation about the cybersecurity grant, incident IT stats, and school performance learning. Owns the district in the county to receive funding through the FCC cybersecurity pilot program, and that grant was valued at over $115,000, and so that will help with several different cybersecurity upgrade costs. We also had a video presentation from someone representative from Edmentum Customer Services. That's the part of the company that partners with us for implementing Exact Path and Study Island. Exact Path is for ELA math, middle school, high school, Study Island, primary school algebra, and grades 5 and 8 science. And they found that there has been growth in students demonstrated an average of mastering 12 skills in math and 14 in reading. Rest of the things were tabled, I guess, for next month's meeting. So that will be it. Thank you very much. Moving on to facilities and finance, Mr. Hilton, please.
Thank you. Mr. Willauer shared photos of the high school basement before and after the new great room was installed. He talked about the HVAC systems at the administration building in Edgewood, which had been replaced fairly soon. He talked about the center facilities projects, the main one being putting in new chillers at the middle school and replacing the unit ventilator at the middle school, which broke and flooded the floor. And then the normal summer facilities programs will be done by each staff. They are putting in a playground at the middle school. And there's an evaluation of the tennis courts, and we're going to have to do some work on water management before we fix the tennis courts. And Mr. Willauer is to be able to do a plan to go forward on that. And then we'll discuss some contracts that we're going to be approving tonight, major contracts. And after a very, very long conversation about the budget, we did not approve a preliminary budget. We're gonna have at least 2 more meetings to discuss the budget before adopting the preliminary budget in May.
Thank you, sir. Moving along, Mrs. Johnson for Public Relations Committee Engagement, followed by non-frequent legislative.
Thank you. Our meeting for public relations and community engagement was last Thursday. Went over a number of advocacy updates. Actually, that was the majority of the agenda. Highlighting a number of different events, many of them for school board members, but a couple for the public. April 25th is both the MCIU legislative breakfast and a press conference for Voices of Education, at which some of our students will be speaking. April 29th is going to be a tax town hall put on by Power Energy, looking at property taxes and the role they play in local education. Mr. Rodriguez will be a presenter for that. May 12th is PSBA Day on the Hill for board members, and May 13th is an advocacy day put on by PA Schools Work, Power, and other advocacy groups. There will be, I believe, a bus to take people to Harrisburg. So that is open, that is not just for board members, and that is in order to advocate for funding that we are owed by the state. All board members are certainly encouraged to participate in at least one of these events. We also discussed the Letters to the Editor project, which is coordinated by the Montgomery County Legislative Group. This is encouraging students, parents, and anyone interested in why public education matters to share that with their local paper. This is a project that's beyond our county, but it was initiated within our county, and they're encouraging those across the state to speak up about the importance of public education. We also touched on the important documentary that was just presented, hosted by our own Evan Brandt here in Pottstown. Documentary is called Stripped for Parts, and it is about the demise of the newspaper in America. It highlights the disservice done by companies that basically have a business model of siphoning capital from while disregarding the value of the important public institutions. Super relevant, awesome documentary, and also infuriating. Another thing we discussed are cyber charter reform updates. Without going super deep into that, I did just share with the committee that there is a lot to be encouraged about on that front, and that is an area where we can press for state funding that meets the needs of all public school students and does not allow, similar to the bit before that, companies to basically siphon money off of important public institutions like schools and newspapers. Volunteer opportunities. We talked a little bit because of the budget struggles about how local volunteerism could be more important than ever, regardless of budget though. It is incredibly important, both in terms of community relationships within our schools and an opportunity for those, for example, grandparents or parents or other folks to be able to engage with our students and create a stronger community together. There was an FAC update. Mercedes Jackson highlighted the Pottstown's Got Talent event coming up on May 17th and talked about other meetings to organize future FAC schedules. That's Family Advisory Committee. Next meeting date is May 8th, and I was not at the County Legislative Committee this week, so I do not have an update.
Thank you. On behalf of Ms. Kansianik for PSBA representative, we do have the 2 delegates for the delegate assembly, as well as the PSBA conference attendance on our agenda for tonight. Moving right along, Mrs. Lawrence for MCIU representative, please.
Yeah, just two quick things that I did mention from our March 26th meeting. We have a presentation on the Pathways to Empowerment program, which is a really cool program they have for 9th to 12th graders who have behavior dysregulation issues that focuses on career communications and things out of the behaviors of emotional regulating. We also did approve the comprehensive plan, so they have similar to what we do. And that was approved for the next 3 years. And we also had a little discussion about some of the concerns with the federal issues and closing the Department of Ed and all that, and how that's going to trickle down to us. So there's nothing decided, but at least talk about that. Our next meeting is on April 23rd. Thank you very much. Now for our student board representative, Elias Hudson.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, board members. I would like to start out our report from the high school level. Lacrosse had car wash this past Saturday. Class of 2026 sell prom tickets. Last choice of blood drive this year was this past Tuesday. Our robotics competition, we placed fourth overall and second among high schools and earned the prestigious Judges Choice Award. And this took place at Dana headquarters in Ohio. International field trips, we had the Greece trip that was successful with 17 students attending, and the Barcelona trip is coming up in a few weeks with 5 students attending. Ninth and 10th grade personal finance presentation by Kira. After that, we have our spring pride rally, which yesterday. We had Hero Day. Voices for Education students set up in Q&A assembly with State Senator Pennyquick and Representative Reese on May 9th. All board members and those that attend are encouraged to attend Art Night, April 30th from 6 to 7 p.m. and attend following the band and choir concert from 7 to 8:30 p.m. At the middle school level, they had 11 interviews to be completed for the 2025-2026 school year. 44 current 7th graders have been accepted into the program. PBIS team completed a building-wide March Madness Challenge in grade 1 arts and ice cream social. 6th graders preparing for their annual North Bay field trip that is coming up. PSSA Olympics are in full swing, but 5th grade taking the lead. First annual Turkey Hero Games, where grade levels compete in fun activities to include the school year. And multicultural picnics coming up in a few weeks. Students will celebrate their culture with a variety of different foods. And moving on to the elementary level, Franklin had spring pictures, FOF, PTA, and time capsule opening. Rupert had Drop Everything and Read Day. They celebrated the joy and importance of reading. Guest readers met with classes to read stories from some of their favorite books. They answered questions and shared the joy of reading. And Rupert thanks all community and school district volunteers who stopped him. Special thanks to ABC's Channel 6 sports director and longtime reader Rupert Juice's daughters. Barth had animal assemblies, quality club, equal party. Barb's best students had pizza parties, GBTL, skiing, and tennis with 3rd and 4th grade students. March attendance challenge, best grade level 1. And then for April attendance challenge, top 3 1. PSSA pep rally, school ed hub, Quiver Farms petting zoo, grades pre-K to 1st, and Philadelphia Zoo school-wide trip. Lincoln had a pre-K family engagement builder activity. PBIS assembly for February, which would be the pizza dance party they had. Project Energy PBIS assembly, superintendent group awards assembly, and PSSA pep rally for 3rd and 4th grade students. And that concludes the report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good job. Now moving on to the report of the superintendent, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, on the agenda for board review and consideration this evening are consent topics items 9 through 19. We also have 3 non-consent items, starting with number 23. So as always, we will walk you through the major pieces of the agenda, beginning with personnel. Mr. Boyer.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Good evening, school board members. For 9.1 resignations and terminations, we have 2 administrative, 3 professional. 1 exempt is an updated retirement date and 4 classified. 10.1 professional leaves. We have 9 total professional leaves. 11.1 change in position and salary. We have 1 administrative, 2 professional. 12.1 elections. We have 1 professional and we have our after school 21st century coordinator. 13.1 for tuition reimbursement. see in the file attachment that we have 13 professional staff, 3 support exempt staff, and 0 Act 93. Professional leaves, we have 3 professional leaves. We have 15.1, we have 1 field trip for your approval. And 16.1, we have 1 policy recommended for your approval, policy 249, bullying and cyber. My report, thank you.
Madam President, can I make a comment about one of those items before we continue?
You can, I know.
Or do you want me to do the end?
I know you may be crunched for time, but I would like the report to hold until we are at,
The end of that, so that's fine.
Good evening, Madam President, board members. Item number 17 is the resolution to exonerate de minimis tax balances. Item 18 is the PSBA voting delegate, approving 2 board members to attend the voting delegate meeting as well as the conference. And number 19, contracts, with 1 E-rate contract, 1 MCIU special education contract, and 1 MCIU technology contract. That includes like consent items, Madam President.
thank you. And now we have, hearings from patrons on schools, solely for general and consent items. I do have a listing in front of me, and again, these are for only, general and consent items. So I will start with reading off those names, and if you could please, come forward, and I will just remind, for all intents and purposes, that it's an opportunity for any resident taxpayer to address the board. However, I would like for you to please refrain from addressing any individual board members, and to remember that the board will not respond to questions posed at the evening. Rather, the administration will gather necessary information to respond to any questions that are out there and forward a response directly to your attention. Please, at that said, to make sure that you provided us with your full name and address prior to addressing the board. Because I want to make sure that everyone who signed up does have an opportunity to speak, I would ask, as always, that you please try to keep your comments under 3 minutes. If possible, please, we do have a lot running, so just to be fair to everyone who wants to speak. So I will start then with Mr. Leon Donahue. Thank you.
There are clocks somewhere, I can see it, we just have.
Mr. Rodriguez has the clock, and when you get close, he will give you a nice little smiley face with sunshine. But if you could please just give us your full name and address.
Yes, my name is Dan Donahue. My address is 701 Howard Drive, Pottstown,
Thank
PA. I'm a teacher here at the high school, so I was told I was able to speak because of that. Well, thank you for allowing me to address the board today. So I've been a teacher here since 2022. And what I can say to everyone is that the high school's gotten better every year since I've been here, right? And that's because of a lot of different factors. We have a good administrative team, we have dedicated teachers. I think you guys as a board have shown great leadership. Superintendent Rodriguez, as well as the rest of the folks who work at Beach Street, right? So it's really been a team effort that's been great to see the school get better year after year. The thing is, though, these cuts that we're seeing, the proposed cuts, I think that could potentially slow down and maybe even derail that progress. And we as a high school staff, I think I can speak for many of my colleagues in attendance and watching tonight, we don't want to see that happen. Right? We want to see the progress go forward. Start off with the librarians. So we need librarians. They're extremely helpful. Kristen Ellis is an extremely vital part of our high school team. I've taken my class to the library many times to do research projects. She's helped them in so many ways, get great resources and help with the writing process and everything. So yeah, librarians are absolutely vital. We really need to keep them in place. We need to keep our building subs in place too. the in-house building subs that we have, because the folks that come in from the third party, Kelly Education and other services, they're nice people, but the advantage of having in-house building subs and the kids get to know them, right? The kids get comfortable with them, and it just makes it so much easier that if a teacher is absent, for things to run smoothly. So we really want to keep them in-house where they are because they serve a bunch of different roles. So also MTSS coaches, they're very important. We like to have robust professional development, right? That wouldn't be as possible without them. So we really would like to keep our MTSS coaches in place because they've helped me, they've helped so many other teachers at the high school. Also, when it comes to the eventual, I know we're in the contract negotiations for teacher salaries increase is very important. Like a modest increase is very important because look, for the growth of the district, we want to be able to have attract new young teachers who come here to replace those who retire, right? We want to be able to do that, and we not only want them to come here, but we want them to stay. We don't want them to see Pottstown School District as a stepping stone. We want them to see Pottstown School District as somewhere where they can spend their career. So I think salaries are a part of that. So anyway, look, I think we're on a good path. So far. Like I said, I've seen improvement every single year since I've been here. And again, I think it's a team effort from all the different people that I mentioned, right? And I really think these cuts could slow that down, and we don't want to see that. So my message to you as a board tonight is, again, thank you for letting me speak, and let's stay on the road to prosperity. Please, let's not turn down a road of austerity that's not going to help. So thank you all very much for allowing me to speak and address you all tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Lisa and Carlos.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be out here. Thank you for caring about our children, their growth, and their futures. I want to talk to you about something that often gets overlooked when we talk about core subjects and academic success: music. Music is not just an extracurricular activity. It is not just entertainment. It is education. It is brain development, and it is a bridge between emotion and intellect. When a child learns music, whether they're in band, choir, or simply plucking a few notes on a guitar, they're doing far more than just making sound. They are exercising some of the same areas of the brain that are used in science, math, and analytical thinking. These patterns of rhythm, the structure of scales, the precision required to play in time, these all reflect the same neural circuits we use to solve math problems and understand scientific principles. Music isn't just art, it's neuroscience in action. Brain imaging shows that music lights up both hemispheres of the brain. The left side, where math, logic, and critical thinking reside, is activated when reading music and keeping time, while the right side, our creative, intuitive center, expresses the emotion behind every note. And perhaps most importantly, music strengthens the bridge between those hemispheres. That connection leads to improved memory, focus, and problem solving. Want to help a child learn to understand fractions? Teach them rhythm. A quarter note, a half note, an eighth note. These are mathematical ideas made real and engaging. Music makes math tangible, gives numbers feeling. And I know this not just because of research, but because I lived it. So I was a member of the North Star High School and the Somerset County Community Bands. I had the incredible honor of being a part of the community to help commission a piece from the renowned composer James Swearingen, a work titled Flight of Valor. This wasn't just any composition. Flight of Valor was written to commemorate the heroes of Flight 93, the brave souls aboard that plane who, on one of the darkest days in our nation's history, took action that saved countless lives at the cost of their own. The piece tells their story entirely through instrumentation, without a single word spoken. Their courage and sacrifice are etched into every note. Playing that piece wasn't just a musical performance. It was a living memorial. It was storytelling with breath, with bows, with brass and woodwinds. It taught us to feel history, to carry legacy. And that kind of emotional depth, discipline, and connection, that's what music does for our children. Band is so much more than blowing into a horn or hitting a drum. It's shaping minds, building futures, and feeding souls. So let's stop thinking of music as optional. Let's champion it as essential. Because when we invest in music education, we're not just investing in artists. We're investing in scientists, engineers, leaders, and empathetic human beings. Let's keep the music playing for their minds, for their hearts, and the worlds they'll someday shape. Thank you. Thank you.
Just before you go, I will just remind everyone to please give their full name and address. Since this is a public meeting, I want to make sure that everything is on file. So you went right into it and I didn't want to interrupt you. It's okay, we have it on file, but for future, anyone who comes up, please make sure you do that. I don't interrupt because it was important. Thank you so much. So I will move right into Ms. Alexandra Green. Thank you.
Green, 518 Cal Street, and I go to downtown middle school, and I'm in 8th grade. I will be advocating for librarians and elementary school beginner band. So in Potsdam Middle School, we have built a relationship with Mrs. Roberts. Librarians aren't just people who helped out checking books. Mrs. Roberts, all throughout middle school, has made us better people, and she helps us whenever we need it. She knows the space and what people need help with, and what books would be beneficial to the child. She has built this relationship with all the students that would leave a gap that would be difficult to fill. This is why keeping our librarians in their position would be much more beneficial to the students and staff. Now I will be addressing why the elementary school beginner band should be kept for students. When I was in elementary school band, I learned over Zoom. And even though I didn't get the full experience, I wouldn't be as good as a flute player if I didn't have the experience and the opportunity. During elementary school band, we got the opportunity to meet new kids from all around elementary schools. Knowing all these students and staff gave us a new reassurance about going into middle school. During elementary school, we had to wait till 4th grade to even get an opportunity to try a new thing. Being in band really showed the kids how to act properly and manage their time at a young age. All of this stuff is better to learn in 4th grade than to be taught in 5th grade. This is why you should find another person to fill Mrs. Mess's position and continue the elementary school beginner band as it is. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Lillian Green.
Good evening, my name is Lillian Green and I live at 518 House Street, Potsdam, PA. Today I will be speaking to encourage you to hire a replacement for Mrs. Ness so that beginner band can remain at the 4th grade level. An experience that I will never forget is the first time I set foot into the middle school, instrument in hand and a heart full of hope. This day was my first beginner band rehearsal. There were some familiar faces, but the majority of kids were attendees of the other elementary schools. A tale as old as time has always been the tame rivalry between the 4 elementary schools, a constant battle of who is superior and who is not. At that moment, the moment I stepped into the band room, I had come to the realization that the kids before me were my future classmates. Wow, these kids, who I've never met before, I'm going to spend the rest of my schooling with. At rehearsal, it didn't matter what our letter grades were or where we attended. We were all there for a common purpose, and that was to learn to play an instrument. Attending band every week gave us the opportunity to connect and build relationships with our peers. Before middle school truly hit, we were already making friends. Gave us the reassurance that we were going into an entirely new environment with friends already by our sides, rather than feeling bitter about sitting among kids from the other schools. During my 4th grade year, I also took part in a club called Reading Olympics. One of the other activities where kids from all the elementary schools could get together and further build our relationships with each other. The teams from all the elementary schools would get together at the middle school for this event. It was a great time. And then the pandemic hit. Everything went virtual, and so did Reading Olympics. It's been that way ever since. Removing beginner band from 4th grade would mean that the elementary students wouldn't get the chance to make friends from peers from other elementary schools until they are already at the middle school. A scary place full of teachers and students they've never met before. Already having known some of the kids I had classes with in 6th grade helped me engage and feel comfortable. I could look around the halls and actually see those familiar faces, including the band directors.
All thanks to the good band, school felt like a safe place. I hope you take my comments into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have Mr. Colin Blank.
Good evening. My name is Colin Plank. I live at 1430 Cherry Lane, and I'm a student here at Pottstown High School. I would like to discuss the importance of retaining the position of elementary beginner band teacher. I'm a direct example of the benefits of our music program as it remains today. I'm not here to talk about my personal accomplishments, but understand I wouldn't be a developed percussionist, musician, or composer without the additional support of the middle school directors. Removing the elementary foundation of this program only stretched the remaining directors so thin that they will not be able to support the advanced musicians, or for the matter, those students that may be struggling. This will negatively impact the overall band program moving forward. I sincerely hope you consider keeping the elementary beginner band position open, as future music students have the right to receive the exceptional experience I have as a member of the Pottstown music program. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And Jackson Dawson.
Hello, my name is Jackson Goslin. My address is 140 Fawn Drive, Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania, but I am the high school band director here at Pottstown High School. I would like to urge the school board to retain the beginner band director position going into the future. Many would think and believe that the middle school and the high school band directors have the tougher job. We teach harder notes, harder rhythms, harder melodies, more complex harmonies. But the most important, the toughest position is the beginning band director. We can only do what we do at the secondary level, the musicals, the jazz band, the marching band, the spring concerts that we put on because of the important work that they do at the elementary level. This teacher has to teach young beginners how to play their instrument, and they are doing something that is completely foreign to them. They have never had to blow air that fast through an instrument. They have never had to move their wrists in that way. It's all brand new, and compile that with having to have 7 students in a room at a time, all of them with a different issue. How do you manage that across 5 schools with 7 different lesson groups? That's 35 individual lessons with however many more students individually in the room that need that one-on-one experience. Additionally, our instrumental programs across the country are just beginning to recover from the effects of COVID. For those of you who do not know, our 8th and 9th graders were the last instrumentalists to begin their instrumental career learning over a screen, right? They missed out on that integral beginning instruction. So why would we choose to eliminate a position, make it more difficult for these students to learn, and set them back intentionally? Why would we choose to do that to them? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, Sunita.
My name is Christina. I'm back to East Third Street. I am a freshman student of Pottstown High School and a member of the concert, marching, and jazz band. Like many of my fellow band students, I joined bands in 4th grade. Then in March of 2020, right before our concert, we went into lockdown. Without the support of Mrs. Mess, I might not have continued my music education. This year, Mrs. Mess is retiring, and due to the unfortunate situation of budget cuts, it has been proposed that the beginner band director position be cut. Our 2 other middle school band teachers, Mrs. Key and Mrs. Curley, would have to assume the responsibilities of another band director. This includes giving lessons to the kids at the other elementary schools and running the beginner band rehearsal after school. Please reconsider this proposal. It is important that our kids get the one-on-one learning instruments on a teacher who can give them their full attention and time. I was privileged to be a student of Mrs. Madison and taught me with student lessons. Without her healthy lessons, I don't know if I would have fulfilled band. Now about the librarian position cuts. 5 librarians in elementary, middle school, and high school have fostered my love of reading and learning, and I've also participated in the Olympics. Middle school library provided a safe and fun place to go after school. Please do not cut the district librarians. They are key in helping kids learn to read and love to read. Thank you for listening.
We have Marlene Armato, please.
Good evening, Marlene Armato, 4 Park Court, Custom. Not one person in this room wants to propose cuts to happen. That includes the people up front at these tables. Our board members and our administration have been committed over years to hiring personnel when possible, purchasing programming, and also keeping taxes low or not raising them at all. So where does responsibility lie for all of this? Responsibility is with your state elected officials, state representatives, and state senators, who over the years have underfunded us $10 million a year. This is the funding we should have. This is the funding we receive. While other school districts, this is the funding they should have received, and this is the funding they received. It was so inequitable that a lawsuit was filed, and the judge ruled that that system was unconstitutional. And she charged those state representatives and state senators with fixing it, fix the system. And so last year, they set out to have a new formula, which would stretch the money over 8 years. Last year, we got the funding for the first year, which did give us some money. But you don't fill a hole that was put on us with all that underfunding in 1 year. And so what is it that we're supposed to do? The people we need to be talking to are those state elected officials. And we have a couple opportunities to do that. One, as was mentioned, Power is having a tax town hall, which also includes fair funding. Present at that meeting will be Superintendent Rodriguez, State Representative Joe Cerisi, and State Representative Paul Freer. All 3 of those gentlemen have been champions for the fair funding fight to get our schools what they deserve. Also in the room will be other elected official or someone from Castro. But you need to come to the town hall and you need to express your questions and concerns to those state elected officials. Even though they're champions, they will go back to Harrisburg and they will say, I attended we were at a town hall with about 100 people from Pottstown, upset people from Pottstown, who want something done, who want the commitment followed up for that second year of funding. Also, on May 13th, it was mentioned, there will be a bus going from Harrisburg to Pottstown. From Pottstown to Harrisburg, free. The Pottstown Health and Wellness Foundation is funding that bus. Also, free will be lunch. All you have to do is get on that bus, go to Harrisburg, and use your voices like you are tonight, and use your power, which you have, and use your leverage to get them to follow through with that commitment. Thank you.
Violet Pratt.
Violet Gretz, and I live at 920 Green Street.
I, as well as many other people I've spoken to, have concerns regarding how lacking the opportunity to be part of band early on could affect students later in life. For starters, music, especially playing music, is a great form of self-expression. If students are stripped of that, it could negatively impact their individuality. Since I've joined various music programs with Pottstown schools, I've noticed that fellow music students, especially band students, tend to be more unique, welcoming, and ambitious than students that do not take music programs. Along with this, music also promotes creativity, and here in the age of toddlers being glued to iPad screens, young children are desperately for creative outlets. Without creativity being promoted in the youth of Pottstown, I fear that our community holds a dull, dreary future. Finally, a study from the University of Texas shows that children who played instruments had greater fine motor skills as well as overall coordination than students who did not. The study states that this is due to the children having to simultaneously utilize different fingers to play comprehensive pieces of music and use their hands intentionally rather than at random. To conclude my speech, I will simply state that the points I've made regarding the benefits of learning an instrument early on are undeniably vital to successfully functioning in life. Thank you for your time.
Okay, Mr. Ted Freeze, please.
Name is Ted Freeze, 478 North Charlotte Street, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. The library is the heart of every school and the hub in which knowledge is transmitted throughout the building. The librarian acts as the disseminator of this knowledge as well as the caregiver for the contents. The librarian makes sure that the collection and other multimedia items contained within are complete, up-to-date, and suitable condition for the school community to use. The librarian is a collaborator with teachers, students, and administrators. The librarian gathers classroom collections, researches, and orders books that support the curriculum. Books are purchased that are accessible to all ages and support various levels of reading ability. Diversified to support the culturally varied community and foster a love of reading. The librarian has created guidelines for challenged books, book selection, and book reading that provides information to administration in case if a question arises from the public. The library is the heart of every school. Like the human heart, if you do not take care of it and maintain it, it will become unhealthy and cease to function up to capacity or stop altogether. A severe reduction in the access to a librarian and library will erode the collection of books and other holdings within the library in a very short time. The librarian is the heart of every school. It is a living organism within the building that must be maintained and kept up to date. Books that are borrowed must be checked out, checked in, shelved, so a book can be easily found. Repairs must be made on books with torn pages and other damages that occur because of normal use. Librarians read and share books in a way that promotes enthusiasm and creates an excitement, which in turn drives the collection and circulation. Books that are borrowed must be tracked to make sure that they come back. New books must be processed for circulation and then entered into the circulation system. In addition to maintaining the book collection, librarians maintain resources that provide hands-on learning and collaboration amongst the students. Lego kits must be inventoried and the hubs must be charged. A process that takes a minimum of 30 minutes per kit. Also, iPads, ozone buds, and other teaching tools are in constant need of charging and updating. This is all in addition to teaching how to use the library, research skills, cyber safety, etiquette, coding, STEAM activities, and the promotion of reading of books. Just real quick on a note, here's a book that came out of the library I was taught at, Lincoln Elementary School. A library by the name of Sandra Hansen saw that his boys in her library loved AFX and slot car racing. She provided this book. The librarian that also kept this book around for 50 years in the library for 50 years until which I just took it out. And it was a library that helps protect that investment. An investment that is very precious. Not only to the librarians, but to each and every student within the Pottstown school system. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Owen Yoko. I live at 836 North Sauk Street, and I'm a current ninth grader at Pottstown High School. I've been part of the band program since I attended Franklin Elementary School, and as a current member of the Pottstown High School band, marching band, and jazz band, I'm strongly against the removal of all librarians, and the decision not to replace the soon-to-retire Mrs. Pence. I understand that this may not be viewed as just a small modification to the band program, but that is not the case. Some of you may not be aware, but Mrs. Mess is currently responsible for not only directing the beginner band, but also for running the flute ensemble and the clarinet ensemble and teaching every lesson for every elementary school student. The argument may be made that the two remaining teachers could absorb these responsibilities, but that's simply not unrealistic. One of them, Mrs. German, already managed the 7th and 8th grade band, jazz band, concert band, and provides lessons for all 7th and 8th grade students on a 6-day cycle. The other, Mrs. Ski, she directs the 5-6 band, the 5-6 jazz band, and the traveling band. They also conduct all the lessons for the 5th and 6th grade students. The load is already substantial, and placing more on their shoulders would only lead to chaos and collapse. Now, replacing one of the band directors would seriously weaken the foundation of the music program and risk causing it to collapse and fall entirely. And not just that, the band program has taught me so much about hard work and dedication. It has made me a better student, and I know that is the same for many others. And on another note, I am strongly against the district-wide removal of all librarians. Librarians have been a huge inspiration to so many students, including myself. For example, Mrs. Roberts, a middle school librarian, runs a program called WEB that supports all incoming 5th graders as they transition into the new school. She also manages the annual book fair, teaches classes in the library, runs a middle school student council, is an outstanding role model for students and perhaps even for some teachers. But similarly, Ms. Ellis, a current high school librarian, has taught me so much about core values, responsibility, and how to carry myself with maturity. She also serves as assistant coach for the boys' spring tennis team and brings positivity and joy to every student's day. Eliminating these librarian positions will ultimately lead to deterioration of the libraries themselves. The programs they run or support would either be understaffed or shut down entirely. This is not just a proposed budget cuts. This is about preserving the hope, inspiration, and opportunities that the students gain through the band program and from the incredible librarians who support our academic and personal growth. I ask this to be seriously considered and recognized. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the school board. I am Madam Dwyer. I'm the Pottstown PA. I'm currently a member of the high school band and music transfer at Franklin Elementary School in 4th grade. I'm here to talk today about something that can make a real difference in our music students' growth, the value of about one-on-one band lessons. While large group rehearsals have their place, one-on-one lessons offer something that can make a real difference in our music students' growth, which is the value of sorry guys. The value of one-on-one band lessons. It can simply show individual attention and personalized instruction. In a large group, a struggling student can get lost in the noise, but in a one-on-one setting, a teacher can focus entirely on the student's needs, whether it's a rhythm on a snare drum, earrings on a clarinet, or breath control for a flute player. The student gets specific and direct guidance that they wouldn't get as a full ensemble. And it's not just about fixing problems, it's about building confidence. When a student sees their own progress, when they hear their improvement week by week, they're more motivated, they practice more, they take pride in their growth. That's how young musicians become passionate and skilled performers. Plus, one-on-one lessons help the students move at their own pace, the fastest challenge, and those who need more time aren't left behind. Everyone wins, right? Of course, group rehearsals are important for collaboration and performance, but they work best when students are already strong individually. One-on-one lessons lay that foundation. The music program has remained strong over the years due to the programs that start at the bottom and continue throughout that have a good foundation. It's not a luxury, it's the key to real musical growth. Thank you so much Yeah, thank you so much for considering replacing the teacher in the position that Ms. Messer currently holds. This position is crucial to developing lifelong musicians. We thank Ms. Mess for all of her years of dedication to the Pasadena Scholarship music programs. Thank you.
Can I run that slide, please?
Hello, my name is Cairo Adrian Vasquez. I live at 1433 Cherry Lane. I'm here representing Lewis, the owner of the High Street Music Company. To the Pottstown School District, imagine a world without music, dance, or visual arts. The arts represent all forms of communication and self-expression. Self-esteem is a positive consequence of self-expression. Besides the documented improvement in language and reasoning aptitude, the arts also enhance teamwork skills and discipline. We must protect the individual differences in our children and appreciate how the arts help define identity. As an advocate of the outstanding work that your administration has continued to accomplish in the community, I particularly have enjoyed having the opportunity to share in your visions. The youth of Pottstown are in need of resources for life skills and an outlet for expression, innovation, and constructive creativity. The arts supply the essential nutrients needed to achieve this vision. Diminishing this opportunity can only result in adverse consequences for generations to come. As a music educator for over 25 years and founder of the high school music company here in town, I have witnessed the profound effects that music has had in the lives of our students. I cannot count the number of Pottstown music students that are currently in various stages of their music-related careers because of their educational beginning and supplemental resources. For reasons previously mentioned, I wholeheartedly support the preservation of the arts in our public schools and ask for your sincere consideration to not cut any arts curriculum. We live in a world that demands us to strengthen our arts and cultural programs, not weaken them. Musically, Lewis. And in my personal experience, music has been the best thing that has happened in my life. I started out in 4th grade, which allowed me to get the interest into it. And when I went into the high school, I decided to do it again. So far, it has been the best decision in my life. I have met multiple friends and many other people who have helped me out in my life and including my business. So if I could just have you guys please reconsider getting rid of the ban. I want more children to have the same opportunity as I do. Thank you.
We have next Ms. Chastity Jaycox.
Good evening. My name is Chastity Jaycox. I live at 819 Hale Street. I have 5 children in our schools, 1 in high school, 2 at the middle school, and 2 at Franklin. So to say I'm invested in this district and its success is an understatement. I can stand up here and tell you how important our music program is to my family and how it has helped my kids grow in ways that have nothing to do with learning how to play an instrument. I can tell you how not having librarians seems crazy and that not having enough support for support staff or our students to take is taking steps in the wrong direction. But you all know that. We are an underfunded school district being asked to do the impossible, to cut more stuff, more people, finding ourselves in a situation yet again where we will have to do without. I've been watching school board meetings for years now, and while many of you don't know me, I feel that in a small way, I know a little bit about each of you. I know that Mrs. Lawrence will always be considerate of our children's mental health needs, that Mrs. Johnson will continue to fight tooth and nail for our deserved funding, that Mr. Hilton has an admirable heart for our environmental impact, and that Mr. Armato has been the biggest champion of our community and extracurriculars for decades. And so as a whole, I feel pretty confident in your ability to navigate this budget shortfall because I know you have the best interest of our students in mind. And even though I may sometimes disagree, you have earned my trust. So I will not stand up here and plead with you to fully fund the things that directly impact my kids, because in doing so, I know I would be asking you not to fund something for someone else. Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Boyer, and Mrs. Oakley have painstakingly gone through our budget and have presented you with a proposal that would have, and I quote, the least impact on our kids. And isn't that what we all want? Unless I'm misunderstanding, it looks like not a single full program or extracurricular is set to disappear. And in my opinion, they worked a little magic here by spreading the cuts across the board. As a community, I encourage all who are able to step up and serve alongside our district employees. Obviously, volunteers cannot replace trained teachers and professionals, but we can fill in the gaps. For example, I would venture to say every school, especially elementary, could use extra eyes and hands during lunch. And I know because I've done it, I've been there. But it would be helpful if there was a more organized system in every building for volunteer needs. If people don't know what or where the need is, it is less likely for people to help. We have amazing, dedicated, loving staff in all of our buildings. But if we stretch them too thin, they will leave. As a community, we need to support them taking something off their plate, even if it's small. So get your clearances, volunteer your time and your talents. I urge the board to look over the proposal again and challenge and ask the challenging questions. Take all you've heard tonight into consideration. I will support you in whatever your budget vote will be, knowing that it will not make everyone happy and knowing that criticisms will come. You were elected by us to do the hard thing in times like this, and I thank you for serving our community.
Dina Johnson, please.
Leah Johnson, I live in 554 Belmont Street. Good evening, and thank you for everyone being here to show up and show out for the various programs you care about. One of the programs I deeply care about is the library. As a generally quiet, nerdy little kid, I would absolutely love to read about a vast amount of topics, from fictional histories to individual books about the different states of the US. The library has always been my safe haven, and the librarians have always been so friendly and always ready to help with the next book request. After learning from home in 5th grade during 2020 and 2021, I was unacclimated to the new environment of middle school, as you can imagine. When I went up to the library during 6th grade, I was greeted with a smile and book suggestions, and a letter from the lover. I was happy as could be. Every time I had a question about where a book was, what puzzles I could do, or even ask about what the next literature would be, I could always ask the librarian. And throughout middle school, I continuously went up after I finished my schoolwork, get a new book, for reading Olympics, or for my own pleasure. Mrs. Roberts has provided many things at the middle school library, including makerspace materials, the newest books, including a Spanish section, and even teaches 5th grade students about the library. Without her, many of these things would not be existent. But it's not just about the things she has done. It's about her expertise in the library and relationships she builds with her students. She'll ask, do you need to find a book? Do you want to learn how to work with makerspace materials? You can always ask, and she will always do her best to help. I will forever and always be thankful for our librarians. I hope this shows you how much they need our school. Thank you for your time.
Christina Santiago.
My name is Taia Santiago, and I live at 357 North Washington Street. I'm in 11th grade at the high school. I have been involved in the music program since I was in 4th grade in the beginner band. I believe beginner band is the reason I am the musician I am today. Mrs. Ness started me on the flute when I was just 9 years old, and it changed my life. A replacement for Mrs. Ness is needed. The two directors at the middle school cannot absorb her responsibilities. There are simply too many. She does so much that it's really a whole other job. And for our students to get the best music education, they deserve a director who can fully be there for them, like Mrs. Ness, who supports all her students at all different levels. Pottstown has been praised for years for our music program, and the reason we are so good is because we start learning in elementary school. Students learn all the skills needed as beginner musicians and then take those skills to the middle and high school to get better and better. There, they build on the skills learned in elementary band, so once they get to the high school, they can play great music because they started early. Letting go of the beginner band will only hurt our program and set us back tremendously. Music education is very important, and it's important to start early so kids can get to learn not only the musical skills, but the life skills, like discipline, teamwork, work ethic, empathy, and the importance of working together towards one end goal, like a concert where everyone is supported and needed. Music makes people happy, so why wouldn't we want students to start young, so they can feel the joy of learning an instrument and feel that sense of belonging and purpose in a beginner band? Thank you.
That's just the first sheet. But I believe we have a. Each and over.
Kate Bethlefer, I reside at 369 Spruce Street, Boston, Pennsylvania. I'm a parent of 3 children that attend Pottstown School District, 2 of which at the high school level, 1 at the elementary level at Lincoln. I'm also a member of the ALA, American Library Association. I was hoping to seek employment at the school district after I graduated with my master's, but hearing that you guys are going to cut those all the positions, maybe not. And if there's no employment for me in the area, I'm probably gonna wanna move, to be honest, and sorry if I'm a little nervous, but, if there's no job opportunities for people, then they're not gonna wanna stay in this district. Same thing is, we don't have programs for these kids at the school. The parents aren't gonna want their kids in the district, because I know my son already wants to be a drummer at the elementary school. He wants to be a drummer, and he has a lot of energy. And I know that the elementary program would help channel that energy, and it would make him a better person because it's made my older children better being involved in extracurricular programs. Much better. It's helped one of my children overcome depression that they were starting to succumb to over COVID, getting involved in band after school. My other child, he has a learning disability and needs extra resources that I encourage through the library, and I just don't want to see any cuts like this. It hurts our kids, and if we don't have these programs, we don't have these positions, it hurts our kids, and then they turn to other things. If they're not gonna be involved in band, if they're not gonna be involved in the library's after school programs, they're gonna turn to other things, and they're gonna wonder why our crime rate is so high. I pay my taxes, and I don't wanna see my taxes not going to community programs. I wanna see my taxes going to things that serve the community, make our community better and stronger, healthier and happier, mind, body, and soul. Because every kid gets involved in those things, they become better. So, thanks. We have Mr. Michael Green.
Hello, my name is Michael Freed, and I'm from 518 Hale Street in Pottstown. Esteemed board, I am the vice president of Pottstown Schools Music Association, volunteer for the beginner band, and proud parent of 3 current Pottstown students. 1 in high school, 1 in the middle school, and 1 in Franklin. Among their experiences are 6 years of reading Olympics, 2 years as web leaders, 6 years of percussion, 5 years of flute, a year of trombone, and about a month of the tuba. All of this growth occurred in beginner, 5, 6, 7, 8 band, flute ensemble, high school and marching band, and our libraries both in person and virtually. Like many of their classmates, COVID came at a terribly formative time, forcing a year, a first year of middle school, a final year of elementary school, and a kindergarten year online for my children. And yet through that, our music and library programs gave my daughters a consistency that lacked at that time, as well as a safe space to learn and grow along with like-minded peers. Much of this has been thanks to the attention and care from our dedicated music staff and librarians, allowing the girls to become strong leaders and great citizens. I strongly urge the board to reconsider the elimination of Mrs. Mess' position and the reassignment of our library staff. Redistribution of the current existing assignments among remaining staff not only further stretches their skills on an already stretched staff, but potentially hinders the growth of our students' ability to read, research, create, and learn to love music, reading, and knowledge. Thank you.
Hearings from the patrons who have signed in. We do have hearings from the patrons that have done so virtually with great public comment. Mr. Rodriguez, would you like to acknowledge that?
Yes, thank you, members of the board. In the agenda, you can all see it's public. There are written comments. If board members recall, I think about 2 years ago, in order to make sure that people who might not be able to make the live meetings or the virtual meetings, that their voice would also be heard. That was widely utilized this month, more than ever before. So all those comments are there for your review in the agenda.
Thank you. And if you did not sign in for written public comments tonight, and you did not do so virtually, we do also acknowledge as board members, we do receive emails personally, and so we would like to also, as a board, acknowledge those persons who have also sent in, and we do read those and communicate about them as well. So thank you for those. We appreciate your advocacy across the board. While we love to have you here, we wish it was under different circumstances where you did not have to feel the passion that you feel about something that may or may not leave the district. That said, we don't want or desire any of those items either. So thank you very much for coming, attending, and for being kind enough and humble enough to express your passionate views about what's going on. Thank you. We'll move along to the board action minutes list of bills and treasurer's report. I will ask if the board has any comment related to those items. Hearing none, I will ask for a motion to accept the current minutes list of bills and treasurer's report. All in favor? Thank you. I will ask for board action on all consent items 9 through 19. I would ask for any communication related to those items, and I recognize Mrs. Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm not here, but I just wanted to clarify my vote. I definitely am in approval of moving salary as the principal to Franklin. However, I just don't want that to be also combined with the idea of being paid with the vacancy in the middle school, because I'm not I think that that's still something to look at. So I just wanted that to be clear of that.
Thank you, so noted. Any other communications related to consent items 9 through 19? Hearing none, I will ask that we have a roll call vote, please.
Lawrence. Klein. Johnson. Armato.
Aye.
Bearden. Aye. Spence.
Yes.
Elton. Idle. 8 ayes, 1 absent, motion carried.
Thank you. Moving along. We did not have a motion, but we did have a motion. Would you like to make a motion post roll call vote? I appreciate that. Retroactively, a first and a second, Mr. Heidel.
Madam President, with your permission, I would like to publicly acknowledge and thank the new principal of Franklin Elementary School. And if you would be so kind as to stand so we can all see who you are. Ladies and gentlemen.
And thank you for attending. Thank you for the retroactive votes. Moving on to the settlement agreements of non-consent, Mr. Hayes.
Money that is, separate confidential, especially settlement agreements, settlement agreements A, B, and C. Those members will discuss during the executive session.
Thank you. Do we have hearings from the patrons of the school limited to non-consent? Hearing none, I will ask for board action on each individual non-consent item related to the items to be reviewed in executive session. But we have any a motion, really not much to discuss publicly. A motion to accept the settlement agreement A.
Check.
And could I have a roll call vote?
Spence. Lawrence. Armato.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Johnson. Idle. Bearden. Hilton. 8 ayes, 1 absent, motion carried.
Thank you. Settlement agreement B. A motion to accept, please.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Roll call vote.
Armato.
Aye.
Bearden. Idle. Hilton. Johnson. Klein. Lawrence. Spence. 8 ayes, 1 absent, carried.
Thank you. Then the final settlement agreement C. Could I have a motion to accept?
Check.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Lawrence. Spence.
Yes.
Klein.
Aye.
Johnson. Hilton. Bearden.
Aye.
Armato.
Aye.
Idle. 8 ayes, 1 absent, motion carried.
Thank you. What we do not have listed under new business is a matter that we've been discussing as a board, which is to host additional meetings to review our budget. Something we have not typically done. We've always tried to pass the preliminary budget as soon as possible. And if there's ever a time that we felt we needed to take additional steps and take time to review, it was this year in this particular time. So under new business as a board, we've looked at additional meeting dates to focus on in particular the budget, a working meeting. And we looked at Thursday, May 22nd as a review. And then the June 19th is actually a holiday. We would look at May 22nd and June 26th as a working and then vote on the budget meeting. So I'm going to ask that the board consider those dates, May 22nd and June 26th, with June 26th being an active working meeting and then we put on the budget and vote discussion at this time. May 27th. Correct. Any other discussion?
And I know that we want to hear about
We will continue to have discussion on the budget in those meetings. It was really just having that additional time and cushion to be able to focus and hone down on the budget. But we will continue to, as always, have these discussions.
Yeah, if I'm hearing board members correctly, this is extra, not wait until. So this is, we would continue to do the committee work that we do, but it would allow us extra time. If you do change direction, we absolutely would need time to figure what some of the alternatives might be, and the effects of that.
Yeah. So the additional meetings are not in lieu of, they are that additional. So we will continue having discussions, but it was those dedicated meetings that we thought we needed. We could drill down and just solely focus on budget. Public. And they would be virtual. Only the voting meetings would be in person as our current standard. Okay, so that said, we will go ahead and slate minimally May 22nd and June 26th. Moving on to information items. So,
Madam President, attached is the monthly meeting notice for May, and we will amend that to include the additional meeting.
thank you. And it's an additional information item. It's our line.
I got it. I'm a step ahead of you. So at your place tonight is the booklet from this year's McDonald's writing contest sponsored by our local McDonald's restaurant. Marcia and Bruce Hallman, who are great supporters of the Pottstown School District, are responsible for this piece. Every year, it's an opportunity for students to experience their creativity, imagination, and writing skills. And this year's edition is no different. I think you will enjoy some of the responses to the prompt of the best day ever in my life. So I encourage you to read it and hope that you are both enlightened and amused as much as I was when I read this. Thank you.
Thank you. Federation remarks, please.
Administrators, educators, and community members. My name is Beth Yoder, and I'm the president of the Federation of Pottstown Teachers. Before I speak about the proposed budget, I want to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank the teachers being celebrated tonight. I know a bunch of them left, but these teachers of the year from each building, I want to say congratulations. Being recognized by your peers is one of the most meaningful honors you can receive. It speaks to your impact, not just on our students, but on your colleagues, your school culture, and the profession as a whole. Your dedication, creativity, and persistence make a lasting difference in the lives of our students. And to all of our educators and support staff, thank you for showing up every day with passion and purpose, even in the face of challenges. Your work is the backbone of this district, and it matters deeply. With that said, I'd like to speak about the proposed budget currently before the board. I'm here tonight because the Federation believes the process and direction of the budget raises serious concerns. Why is it that the first proposed budget cuts, when there is a shortfall, are to the very things that make school meaningful and transformative for kids? Why weren't other areas of student-facing programs looked at first? Why does it feel like you've been handed a single high-stakes decision rather than a collaborative conversation on how to protect what matters most, our kids? This proposed all-or-nothing budget puts our students' future at risk, and that should never be the starting point. This is troubling, especially when we're talking about programs that are fundamental to a quality, well-rounded education. Speech services, a fully staffed library with certified librarians, not library assistants, instrumental music, the arts, and core subject remediation. These aren't extras. They are essential to educating the whole child and living up to our mission statement of preparing every student by name for success at the next level. These programs help our students develop confidence, communication, literacy, creativity, and critical thinking skills that serve our students far beyond the classroom. The same goes for high school math and language arts positions. These aren't optional. They're directly tied to academic growth, test scores, graduation rates, and students' ability to succeed in trade school, college, or a career. We all know that a strong public education system lies in its commitment to educating the whole child. These programs are not luxuries. They are foundational tools that support literacy, creativity, confidence, communication, and long-term academic success. Cutting these positions or programs now will be a step backward and put our students even further behind students in other school districts. You say we are committing to preparing every student by name for success at the next level. But if we take away these supports, how are we preparing them? What message are we sending when we cut these essential programs first? This district has alternatives. There are real, reasonable, and actionable alternatives that could and should be considered before gutting the core of our students' learning experiences. Federal and state grants, community partnerships, corporate sponsorships, private donations, they're all opportunities to bring additional support. These options need to be, and maybe already are, being pursued with the same urgency and energy we bring to cutting programs. Additionally, the school board should raise taxes to the adjusted Act 1 index limit. This hasn't been done since the 2019-2020 school year, even though you've had the legal ability to do so. The millage rate has stayed at 41.96 since 2019, and there was no increase at all in 5 of the last 10 years. In fact, over those 10 years, PSD has raised taxes just twice, both during major financial transitions. So let's put this in perspective. If you raise taxes to the adjusted index of 5.8%, the net annual increase per household after the homestead rebate is just $24.50, or about $2 a month. And without the rebate, it would be about $15 a month. This amount is not worth dismantling programs that support student growth, achievement, and opportunity. Additionally, make reductions in areas that don't directly impact students. Those areas exist and they need to be on the table. Are there positions that can be consolidated? Here is one actionable suggestion. The high school librarian could take on the college and career readiness position that was recently abandoned while still fulfilling mandated Act 339 obligations, managing the resource room and overseeing virtual learning programs. This is a creative solution that meets multiple needs with one qualified staff member and is a cost-saving measure that preserves key services. Lastly, utilize a reasonable proportion of the fund balance to bridge the short-term gap. That's what fund balances are for times like this. We are a community that values education. I urge this board to rethink its current approach. Let's stop putting the burden on the programs our children depend on and instead build a budget that prioritizes their growth, their opportunities, and their futures. Let's show that by passing a budget that reflects those values, let's make cuts where they least impact our students and make smart, long-term decisions that prioritize the people we're all here to serve, the children. We understand the board has a very difficult task. However, this board has a choice. You can protect what works. You can preserve what matters. Let's not make our students the first place we cut. You can build and pass a budget that reflects what you say you value, our students who deserve a full, enriching educational experience. Thank you.
We are at the roundtable portion, so I will ask for board members to provide their closing comments, and I will start with Ms. Armando.
Tonight is an excellent example of the value and the importance of public education. The honoring of our Teachers of the Year signifies, as Mrs. Yoder pointed out, the important role that they play in our students' lives every day. I want to commend them. I want to commend each and every person who came up today and spoke to the issue. And in their voices, you could hear the emotion that is tied to their thinking. If every one of us is honest and we think back to the times when we were in school and think to that teacher, that coach, that band director, that choral director that made an impact on our lives that was way beyond any academic piece that we learned from them. That's the emotion that we heard today. And that's the emotion that I think is something that we have to be responsive to. Having that person, and today I heard the term extracurricular. I do not believe the words extracurricular. There is no extra. We have co-curricular activities. Activities that are both athletic and non-athletic, that support the academic mission of our school, that support preparing each student by name for success at every level. And we need to be mindful of that. As a board, we have a tremendous task in front of us. And to that end, calling special meetings, quite honestly, I'm happy to meet every night to try to come to a resolution that benefits both our students and our community as a whole. That being said, the numbers are the numbers. A $9 million deficit is very difficult to try to come to grips with without, I hate to use the word, looking for efficiencies in what we do. Mrs. Yoder and Mrs. Armato both pointed out opportunities for us at the other end of the budget issue of how to increase our resources. And I think we all have to be mindful of that. Mrs. Johnson and Mr. Rodriguez have been leaders in our district for fair funding, and we need to support what they're doing in voice and in action. So again, for me tonight, just exemplifies how important a role public education plays in our community's lives, and we need to be able to support that. Thank you.
I just like to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's great to hear your stories, read your email, share your passion for reading, library, music, and I don't know if anyone heard my story, but I'm sure this board has, and they're probably really eyes that tell it, but when I was a young girl, homeless with my family, my aunt, who is now a retired teacher, I like to say she took me to the library, but she took my family to the library, my brothers and sisters, the youngest of 7. And this first time going there was a magical place. I fell in love with reading. She got me my first library card, and it opened up a world of excitement, adventure, knowledge, and it changed the trajectory of my life. At the time, youngest of 7, in deep poverty, that doesn't look good for a future. But because of the library and that library card, I fell in love with reading. I love the library to this day, and I share that passion with you. I also understand that we are a district that's underfunded, and I would love to see you in Harrisburg, because I know I sure went many times. I got a couple of bells that we rang in on the steps of Harrisburg. And I've been on the bus several times. I meet every week on a Friday night with a national group talking about education and our students and the reading and the math and all those things. And I am just as committed as every board member here, my colleagues, even though 90% of the time I disagree with them, but we all share that same passion for this district, for our students, for you, all you teachers and admin. And coming from the youngest of 7 and knowing deep poverty and knowing moving forward without, I bring my experience of how to make something out of nothing. And I'm really confident that this board will make something out of nothing. So again, thank you all for coming, and I'm really excited to see you. I've been on this board for several years, and I've never seen so many people come to a board meeting and express a public comment. And I used to ask first, like, what are people? And you can say, you can see them when they talk about music. So that's all I have for the president.
Thank you. Mr. Hale.
It's been a long, and we've heard a lot even before tonight. It's difficult. It is. I mean, we didn't mention that we're losing on the school. We have left people go, trying to get new things that aren't coming like that. We use it. We're going to get the part. We're taking an argument and we go through it about it. All these things. It's not me. By saying that our teachers are losing the district musical, how many we are trying to keep them musical? It's not going to be easy for us. Things are going to be tough. Bear with us. Please don't hate us. This is probably the most difficult part of being a school board, is having to raise taxes, and we are raising taxes by 0.8%. Yeah, that's a given already. We all know what's going on. We appreciate you being out here. We're going to try to do the best for everyone in this district. But we're not big, we don't have to. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Florence.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to just keep repeating what they've all said. I agree. That is tough, and there's a lot of times. I know I don't do that. So people that but we're congratulating the teachers. It's really good. And they're all deserving and a lot of work. Okay. Thank you.
Watching this all play out and probably having flashbacks, but thinking about how much I hate that we're dealing with this, but how much I love seeing the community show up and advocate for the things that matter to them. I'm especially proud of the students who took the time to put together their thoughts and speak up, did a great job, and I'm proud of all of you. I really appreciate that sentiment of, protect and preserve what's working and what matters. I think as we've all looked at the budget and there's, how can we raise more revenue and fund balance, and cuts that have the least possible impact, and it obviously heard already, it feels like an impossible situation. There was a comment made tonight, I don't know who said it, but they talked about using all possible resources. And they weren't talking about us, I don't think, they were talking about their job as a teacher and manufactured in a teacher segment earlier. And I wrote it down because I just thought that is the work in front of the board in the next couple months, is to make sure we are using all possible resources. And that includes the advocacy piece, that includes our funds and taxes and all of that, creative solutions of all kinds. I think it's important too that we look forward to see how the decisions we make this year are likely to impact us the next year and next. Because one of my great concerns with using a lot of fund balance is that the state has summer really making even more draconian cuts in 3 years. So that's one of the things that's going to be on my mind over the next couple months. And I'll also just say I have full confidence that this board is going to do everything that we can to preserve and protect our members.
Thank you.
Good one.
Thank you. As a retired educator, the thing that I was most proud of tonight was the students. The composure you showed tonight speaking, the emotion, and the research skills. You utilize speaking tonight will impress me. As one of the board members says, every chance he gets, it makes me proud to read Pottstown tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam President. Board members, thank you for all the hard work you do. Community members, just so you know, try to adhere to an internal unwritten rule of not repeating things so that we can get out of here and do other things. But I'll just simply say, thank you so much for coming out. It means a lot. I will also say for board members, there is tremendous pressure. They feel it with us all the time. We are going through some difficult issues, but I have seen what other communities do to their boards. And I will tell you that you all made me extremely proud to be from this place where we respect each other, even when we disagree. So thank you for that.
So in the spirit of not repeating what's already been said, what I will always repeat is how proud I am of our students. I don't care how many people make a comment and a congratulatory statement. Our youth never can get enough of accolades because what they are dealing with and are facing is enormous. And so from every direction that we can possibly give them, we must give it to them. And they've done an amazing job tonight. And they didn't get there by accident. They have staff, supportive, professional, parents, bus drivers, every focus area supports our students, and it's what helps them to have the courage to unite, come as individuals, and advocate for what they feel is right. There isn't one particular area that we can attribute where we are at. I was born and raised here. I was a band member from the 4th grade until my senior year of graduation. I played the flute. I was trained by Porter Item. I had the most amazing musical team. My daughter also played the flute. My nieces played the flute. My brother played the trumpet. We are a musical family and we still are musically inclined. We wrote music, we sang. We were Michael Jackson, we were Diana Ross, we were the backups, we were Margaret, we were everything good. We were also Eric Clapton. We were very, very diverse in our musical learning. We didn't get that just from one direction. That said, we're in a position that we shouldn't be in as a district through no fault of our own, regardless of party, because this is not about party affiliation. Where we are is not about one particular area of shortage. I don't like politics, I like people. And this board is a very active and very functioning board. And we are not taking this lightly. Long before this meeting, there have been several meetings. And we will continue to have those meetings and do our best with our executive team to come up with the most viable and most sustainable solution that will not disrupt, not just this year, but in a projected sort of way, so that we're not here again next year and the year after that. But again, we know the state of our economy, and we know that we're up against an uphill battle. So like what has already been said, I ask that you, for your grace and your support and your continued diligence, to know that we are doing our absolute best for our students, because they are our primary concern, followed immediately by staff who sews into them, and of course our parents and community. So I appreciate all of you for staying tonight. I appreciate all of your support and continuing to support those leaders who have been advocating. You've watched, you know what our board members are active in. But as always has been said as well, there are other groups that are leading the charge for these actions, and please support these organizations. You've heard about Power, we have PA Fair funding. If you need any information, you need dates, you need times, please reach out. Mrs. Armato is here, Mrs. Johnson is here, Mr. Rodriguez is here, and our board members are all willing to give you information and put you in touch with the right people to continue supporting. So thank you very much for attending tonight. I will ask if there's any other board member who has any comment that I may have overlooked or missed. Okay, that said, I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor, please. Thank you, meeting adjourned.